Hi all, it's me. I'm going to do a quick video on adjusting entries, real short and sweet, and just to try to help out with your assignment this week. So looking at the left here, what we have is Jasper Company pays $12,000 on January 1st, 2018 to cover rent for all of 2018. So let's look at what this says. The company is paying $12,000 on January 1st. So they're paying out cash, that means, to cover rent for all of 2018. As you guys have been working with accrual accounting, you only recognize an expense when that expense is incurred. So if you pay today for something that you're not going to benefit from until next month, did you actually incur that expense? The answer is no. So in this case, when the company pays $12,000 on January 1st, they're not incurring any expense. What they're going to recognize, and we're going to debit, is actually a prepaid expense, specifically prepaid rent for that full amount. All right, and any prepaid expense account is an asset. All right, so what they're saying is they're recognizing this resource that they're having in the future because they won't have to pay cash in the future. They're paying the cash now and won't have to pay in the future. They're going to credit cash because it's going out, and that's all they would do on January 1st. Now, when it comes to prepaid expenses, every month, what they're going to want to do is they're going to want to recognize some of that expense. All right, 1 month worth. Some companies do it just yearly, but we're going to practice with a month. So at the end of January 31st, now they have recognized or they have incurred 1 month of an expense. So when that happens, now they actually have to recognize 1 month of rent expense. So when you recognize an expense, a refresher, it's debited. So if they paid $12,000 for the entire year, 1 month would be $1,000. 12,000 divided by 12. They're going to credit, they don't need to credit cash. They've already paid cash. They're going to credit prepaid rent. So they're going to reduce the amount of that prepaid rent. This would be the same journal entry for the next 11 months. Okay? Let's look at the opposite side, unearned revenue. Jasper Company receives $2,000 from a customer on January 1st and does not perform the requested service until February 15th. If you get money for something, but you didn't do anything to earn that money, did you earn the revenue? No, the company did not earn the revenue yet. So what accrual accounting says is, yeah, on January 1st, you're going to debit cash because the company's receiving cash, so they have to debit it, but you're going to credit unearned revenue, which is a liability. And it's a placeholder until you recognize real revenue. So on February 15th, now the company is going to debit, get rid of unearned revenue, get rid of the liability when they perform the service, and they're going to credit revenue, specifically sales or service revenue. It looks, I wrote a service, so service revenue, but they're going to credit real revenue. So real revenue is not recognized until it's performed. Unearned revenue is a placeholder for it. Okay, this is real basic examples. I had to do it kind of fast, so if you have questions, let me know. The other type of accrual accounting that you come into is when you do earn the revenue, but you don't receive cash right away. So say real quick, Jasper Co. performs a service for $5,000, but won't receive cash until next month. This is where you earn the revenue, so you got to credit revenue. And what you debit is a placeholder for cash, accounts receivable. And credit revenue. Now when the company receives the cash, they're going to debit cash and they're going to get rid of the placeholder, accounts receivable. Okay? Same thought process for an expense. All right, if you incur an expense but you're not going to pay for it for a while, you debit the expense because it's incurred, and you credit accounts payable. Then you get rid of that when you pay the cash, right? Again, short, sweet video, short on time, but I wanted to get this out. If you have questions, let me know.